Miriam's punishment by Ginzberg. God now gently rebuked Aaron and Miriam for their transgression, and did not give vent to his wrath until he had shown them their sin. This was an example to man never to show anger to his neighbor, before giving his reason for his anger. The effects of God's wrath were shown as soon as he had departed from them, for while he was with them, his mercy exceeded his anger and nothing happened to them, but when he was not long with them, punishment set in. Both Aaron and Miriam became leprous, for this is the punishment ordained for those who speak ill of their neighbors. 494 Aaron's leprosy, however, lasted for a moment only, for his sin had not been as great as that of his sister, who started the talk against Moses. His disease vanished as soon as he looked upon his leprosy. Not so with Miriam. Aaron in vain tried to direct his eyes upon her leprosy, and in this way to heal her, for in her case the effect was the reverse. As soon as he looked upon her, the leprosy increased, and nothing remained but to call for Moses' assistance, who was ready to give it before being called upon. 495 Aaron thereupon turned to his brother with the following words: "Think not that the leprosy is on Miriam's body only, it is as if it were on the body of our father Amram, of whose flesh and blood she is." Aaron did not, however, try to extenuate their sin, saying to Moses, "Have we, Miriam and I, ever done harm to a human being?" Moses: "No, Aaron, if we have done evil to no strange people, how then canst thou believe that we wished to harm thee? For a moment only did we forget ourselves and acted in an unnatural way toward our brother. Shall we therefore lose our sister? If Miriam's leprosy doth not now vanish, she must pass all her life as a leper, for only a priest who is not a relative by blood of the leper may under certain conditions declare her clean, but all the priests, my sons and I, are her relatives by blood. The life of a leper is as of one dead, for as a corpse makes unclean all that comes in contact with it, so too the leper. Alas, so Aaron closed his intercession, shall our sister who was with us in Egypt, who with us intoned the song at the Red Sea, who took upon herself the instruction of the women while we instructed the men, shall she now, while we are about to leave the desert and enter the promised land, sit shut out from the camp?" These words of Aaron, however, were quite superfluous, for Moses had determined, as soon as his sister became diseased, to intercede for her with God, saying to himself, "It is not right that my sister should suffer and I dwell in contentment." 496 He now drew a circle about himself, stood up, and said a short prayer to God, which he closed with the words, "I will not go from this spot until thou shalt have healed my sister, but if thou do not heal her, I myself shall do so, for thou hast already revealed to me how leprosy arises and how it disappears." This prayer was fervent, spoken with his whole heart and soul, though very brief. Had he spoken long, some would have said, "His sister is suffering terribly, and he, without heeding her, spends his time in prayer." Others again would have said, "He prayeth long for his sister, but for us he prayeth briefly." God said to Moses, "Why dost thou shout so? Moses, I know what suffering my sister is enduring. I remember the chain which my hand was chained, for I myself once suffered from this disease." God: "If a king, or if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? I, the King of Kings, have spit in her face, and she should be ashamed at least twice 7 days. For thy sake shall 7 days be pardoned her, but the other 7 days let her be shut out from the camp. For want of priest who, according to the tenets of the law, must declare a leper clean after the healing, God himself assumed this part, declaring Miriam unclean for a week, and clean after the passing of that period. 497. Although leprosy came to Miriam as a punishment for her sin, still this occasion served to show how eminent a personage she was, for the people were breaking camp and starting on the march when, after having saddled their beasts of burden for the march, upon turning to see the pillar of cloud moving before them, they missed the sight of it. They looked again to see if Moses and Aaron were in the line of procession, but they were missing, nor was there anywhere to be seen a trace of the well that accompanied them on their marches. Hence they were obliged to return again to camp, where they remained until Miriam was healed. The clouds and the well, the sanctuary and the 60 myriads of the people, all had to wait a week in this spot until Miriam recovered. Then the pillar of cloud moved on once more, and the people knew that they had not been permitted to proceed on their march only because of this pious prophetess. This was a reward for the kind deed Miriam had done when the child Moses was thrown into the water. Then Miriam for some time walked up and down along the shore to wait the child's fate, and for this reason did the people wait for her, nor could they move on until she had recovered. 498.